students, welcome to my channel The Coach. So I am back with a new question which has been asked in NEET 2023 exam. So let's get into the question directly. So movement and accumulation of ions across a membrane against their concentration gradient can be explained by options are first facilitated diffusion, second option passive transport, option third active transport, option 4 osmosis. Let me explain you few basic concepts which is required to answer this question. So plant basically lacks circulatory system like us, like humans, right? But plant has the movement, or plant requires the movement of molecules from one part to the other part of the plant body, right? Like if you see the roots of the roots of the plant absorbs water and they need to transport the water to various part of the plant. Similarly, the leaf of the plant do photosynthesis and prepares the food. This food has to travel down and move upwards and downwards to different parts of the body. So there is a huge complex transport which occurs in plant's body. That is why the plant needs a transport system. So when plant has to transport molecules from one part to other, they don't have a circulatory system. That is why the plant moves the molecules from one cell to the other. So one cell to the other, the molecules move and reaches to the desired organ. So now when you know that in plants the cell plays an active role in transport, you must know that during this transport molecules move out from a cell or molecules can move inside the cell. This entry and exit of molecules from the cell is facilitated by a semi-permeable membrane which is known as cell membrane. Structurally, this cell membrane is made up of bilipid layers. So this is the first layer and this is the second layer. So and in between this bilipid layer, you have these proteins embedded into this bilipid layer as cherry is embedded in cake. Since the cell membrane is mostly made up of lipids, so all those molecules which are soluble in lipids can easily pass through the cell membrane and move from region of higher concentration to the lower concentration without any expenditure of energy. This is known as passive transport. It is just like if you push a ball from this slope, it can easily move down without any expenditure of energy. So next one is facilitated diffusion. Now when you know the structure of cell membrane, this is an animal cell and this is a cell membrane. So here you can see clearly it is made up of bilipid layer, first lipid layer or second lipid layer, and in between we have transport proteins. So just now we said in the passive transport that all the molecules which are soluble in lipids can move directly from the lipid membrane, from the bilipid layer, and can easily pass. But there are some molecules which are hydrophilic in nature. They cannot pass through the bilipid layer. So in order to transport those molecules in and out of the cell, we have a channel protein. This channel protein facilitates the movement of molecules which are hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means water loving. So they cannot be soluble in lipids. They can only be soluble, these hydrophilic molecules can only be soluble in water or polar solvents. So they cannot pass through this lipid bilayer membrane. So in order to facilitate their transport, we have special channel proteins which allows the movement of molecules from region of higher concentration to the lower concentration. So again we can say here that facilitated diffusion is a type of passive diffusion where the molecules move from region of higher concentration to the lower concentration without expenditure of any energy through channel proteins. The next one is active transport. So active transport is a transport where molecules move from region of lower concentration to the higher concentration, just opposite to the passive transport and facilitated diffusion. So here what happens is that molecules move from region of lower concentration to the higher concentration. So of course when it moves from lower to higher, you have to expend the energy, you have to put the energy. And you can see here, if you are asked to push the ball up the slope, it will take energy. You require energy in form of ATP. So due to the energy, due to the push, the ball can move above the slope. Similarly, here we have the molecules which are moving from lower concentration to the higher concentration requires energy, and this whole transport is facilitated by proteins, channel proteins, which are known as pump. These are known as pump because these are channel proteins which requires ATP or energy to work and send the molecules from lower concentration to the higher concentration. So next is osmosis. Osmosis is a term which is specially used for diffusion of water molecules across a semi-permeable membrane. So here this is a semi-permeable membrane. This allows water molecule to pass through it but does not allow any solute to pass through it. So here in osmosis, water move from region of higher concentration, or you can say water move from its higher chemical potential to the low chemical potential or low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So this side, if you see, water molecules are high, number of water molecules are more, and here the number of water molecules are less. So water will diffuse from, so water will move from region of higher concentration to the lower concentration. This process is known as osmosis. So, from the above discussion, we can conclude that option 3 is the correct answer, because in active transport, accumulation or movement of ions takes place against the concentration gradient. Thank you.